Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a video on the disappearance of Asha Degree. I'm just doing this for informational purposes and, just kind of saying what I think about the case. Asha was 9 years old when she disappeared from her home in Shelby, North Carolina. She lived in the home with her mother, Akila, her father, Harold, and her brother, O'Brien. On February 13th, 2000, Asha and her brother went to bed around 8 p.m. There was a power outage that night around that time, and so they ended up skipping their shower or their baths and they went straight to bed. Power was restored around 12:30, and that's around the time the father had returned home from work. And the father says that he had looked into the rooms when he got back from work and he had saw that both of the children were still in bed, and that was around 12:30. He says he also checked both of the children again around 2:30, and that was right around the time that he had decided to go to bed. The next morning, the mother wakes up around 5:45 just to wake the kids up so they can take their bath that they missed the night before. That is when she realizes that Asha is missing from her bed. It is believed that in the early morning hours of February 14th, 2000, Asha left her bed, took her belongings, and left the home on her own. It is suggested that she left the home around 2:30 a.m. because that is when her brother reports that he heard her get out of her bed. And I don't know what context that's in and how he would know it's 2:30. This was in 2000, not everyone had phones and everything, not small children especially, having phones on them and, being able to see that. So I don't know if he had maybe a clock next to him that he had looked at, or if he had a watch on him and he had looked at the time. So this is basically like the whole 2:30 a.m. thing is just basically like a general idea of around what time she would have left. And I think it's important what time she left because there's a lot of things that happen afterwards that kind of, match the time of her leaving and, what happened to her. That same night, two motorists reported that they had seen Asha walking around 4 a.m. down the side of the highway. One said that he had even, turned back around just to get a closer look, but as he turned around, he saw her run into the woods and he was not able to see her again. Something important about this is that this was not reported until the next day when Asha was reported missing. I feel like if they had reported it a little bit earlier, this definitely could have helped a lot more. Them not saying anything until, she was reported missing the next day definitely did nothing for the investigation. I also want to clarify that these motorists have really no relation to each other except that they had seen her. So it's pretty much like a confirmed thing that she was on the side of the road at that time. Now, this is a really strange case because Asha was 9 years old when she ran away. She didn't have any significant home issues. I think when her parents, they had said that she had lost a basketball game or something, so maybe that upset her, but like she really didn't have any home issues. She comes from like an average family. I think to run away from home at the age of 9, I feel like there wasn't a way she was running away. I feel like someone maybe helped her or gave her the idea, but it's really hard to know because the family didn't even have like internet, how kids these days can really get in contact with anyone from all over the world and talk to them, and then that puts them in a danger. Like at that time it wasn't like it is now, so it's really hard to say like if she was talking to someone or someone gave her the idea to run away. It's really hard to say. So the mother woke up around 5:45 and the police started their investigation around 6:40 a.m. This is about 4 hours after she initially left. She was being searched for. People were searching for her. The police, outside of her family, like friends, everyone, they were looking for her. Flyers were being put up. Tips were being sent in. Like the motorist had reported seeing her the night before. But there really weren't anything leading to, where she could be. That was until February 15th when the police found candy wrappers, a pencil, a marker, and a Minnie Mouse bow that the parents reported as belonging to her. And this was found in a shed that was along the highway around where she was last seen. There was nothing else found for over a year. Then on August 3rd, 2001, her backpack was discovered. Her backpack was found almost as if it was being preserved. It was wrapped in a plastic bag and, you know, in a very shallow, kind of like dug up spot. And it was found, I believe, like 26 miles away from where she was last seen on the side of the highway. But this one was near a construction zone. So I don't know if whoever, I honestly think she was taken. Like, I think maybe she had decided to leave with whoever, and then everything kind of like, you know, flipped around, because she's a 9-year-old girl. How is she supposed to know the dangers of the world? So I just think that maybe she thought she was leaving with someone she trusted, and then everything got turned around. I honestly think whoever took her buried her backpack and kind of kept it preserved. And, you know, sort of like how people, not people, like monsters, sort of like how, you know, like murderers, they have trophies. I feel like that could have been a part of it. But let's talk about more what was in her backpack and what she had taken with her. I'm gonna read this from my laptop because I can't remember all of this. For her clothing, she had taken her favorite jeans with a red side stripe. She had a long sleeve white nylon shirt, a red vest with black trim, black overalls with Tweety Bird on it, black and white long sleeve shirt, and her basketball uniform. Other items she had was her lime green Tweety Bird purse, black shoes, her wallet, 3 family photos, and a house key. So I have no idea really what to make of what she had taken with her, but she did bring a house key, and I feel like maybe she thought she was coming back home. Like, possibly. That's completely a possibility. And so one thing I forgot to mention was in the shed where they had originally found, like the first thing that they had found, like with the candy wrappers and everything, they actually found a picture of a little girl. And it's really skimmed over in a lot of articles and a lot of things about her. Like, no one really talks about it. It's just really weird that it was found, and that, you know, I don't know what the investigation like into that was, but I'm sure investigators have definitely taken a look into that, because it's so strange. It can't be a coincidence, you know, that it's found in the same place that, you know, she was most likely last at. I wonder if they've taken a look into that, and they're still updating this case to this day, which I think is amazing. I'm so happy that, you know, there are still being updates, and I'll share those updates with you guys right now. So in May of 2016, they had turned up a new lead. They had disclosed that, you know, she may have been seen getting into a dark green early 1970s Lincoln Continental Mark IV, or possibly a Ford Thunderbird, and it was along the same route, like the same highway as she was like last seen on. So she may have gotten into one of those kinds of cars. The car was also described as having rust around the wheels, and so that was something that the police had released, you know, in relation to her disappearance. And even more recently, they have released more information. In October of this year, I'm gonna read this from the article, there were updates on this case, and I'm going to share that with you guys right now. There were 2 clues. The police haven't released what these clues have to do with the case, but they have asked people to come forward with information if they know anything. The first clue is a library book from the Falston Elementary School in Cleveland County. It's the book McElliot's Pool by Dr. Seuss, and on the cover it shows a fish chasing a worm on a hook. Then the second clue is a concert t-shirt from New Kids on the Block, which formed in the 1980s and is currently on tour. So these were the 2 clues. Very vague. The police clearly, for their investigation purposes, don't want to release why these are important, but I just have a feeling it might have something to do with whoever, you know, took her. And, you know, I think it's definitely probably going to be something that's very important to locating her, and, you know, or figuring out just like, you know, her story and what happened to her. That is all. I really enjoyed researching this case because there have been updates, and it shows that the police are still active and, you know, looking into this, which I think is amazing. I think all missing children and missing people's cases in general deserve a lot of attention, and, you know, just a lot of conversation, because some families, you know, I just don't think they should go through not knowing what happened to their family members or things like that. So Just want to bring a lot more attention to this case and a lot more recognition. Tell me what you guys think of this case. I find it really interesting. I hope you guys did too. I'm going to be making more of these videos, of course, so just watch out for those. As always, hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Love you guys, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.